Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and honor and glory to where it's due to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahshua, Bahashim Harakakdas, giving our glory and honor to the Almighty Yahweh. Double honors to the elders, fathers, great millstone, who taught us the truth. Shalom to the sincere and faithful brother out there who are teaching this truth, edifying their brothers and sisters, while I share their diligence, and bidding the lost sheep to the merge, and bringing the light back to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashim Yahshua. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners who came in from the darkness to light, to the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yasa, and are being built up and gaining more knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Shalom to the few Agwaf who believe on this truth. Today, your brother Ayawab come at you with another lesson today, entitled "What is Hell?" Because in my last lesson, or the lesson before last, on after death, what happens after death, I said that hell isn't a fiery place underground where you get poked with pitchforks all day long, for an eternity, forever, all day, every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You don't just buy a dude with some horns and a pitchfork just poking you all day. That's not what hell is. That's not scriptural. Now I'm gonna get this first. Lord willing, this lesson shouldn't be too long. It's really straight to the point, but all through the Lord's will. This is 1 Timothy 1 and verse 4. Neither give heed to fables and endless genealogies, which minister questions rather than godly edifying, which is in faith. So do. I brought that out at the beginning of that one lesson. So let's see what that word fable means. Fable, a fiction, a fable, an invention, a falsehood. So what they telling you is a falsehood. It's an invention. It's a fiction. It's an invention that they made up to condition you people, to condition you to being scared, and if anything, to lead you away from the Bible. As a lot of Jakes don't believe in the Bible. A lot just think the Big Bang Theory. But anyways, it's a fable. It's not real. A place on the ground is not where you go when you die, when you die. You get burnt forever. But let's figure out what hell truly and actually is. First, I'm going to get the book of Jonah. I'm going to get Jonah 1 verse 1 first. Now the word of the Lord came unto Jonah the son of Amittai, saying, Arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it, for their wickedness has come up before me. But Jonah fled. But Jonah rose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord, and went to Joppa. So Jonah didn't want to go to Nineveh. He didn't want to listen to the Lord. So when he fled, he went on a ship, and he went towards Tarshish, and then there was a big storm, just to paint the picture. So he's on the ship, and there was a big storm, and there's people with him, and the people ended up finding out that it was him, it was the Most High, his God, Jonah's God, who caused that great storm. And they decided to throw him off the ship, Jonah as well, to throw him off the ship. And so he got thrown off the ship. And this is Jonah 1 verse 17. Now the Lord had prepared a great fish to swallow up Jonah. And Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights. So when he got thrown off the ship, that fish swallowed Jonah. And he was in the fish's belly for 3 days and 3 nights. So this is Jonah 2 and verse 1. Then Jonah prayed unto the Lord his God out of the fish's belly. So he was praying to the Lord in the fish's belly, and said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto the Lord, and he heard me out of the belly of hell, cried I, and thou heardest my voice. So he cried out of the belly of hell. So that fish's belly is a fiery place. At the fiery place where you get, so that's where, so you go into the fish's belly when you die. No. You don't just, he cried out of the belly of hell. He was crying in the belly of that fish, the belly of hell. So, let me get Matthew 11, verse 23. This is Matthew 11, verse 23. And thou Capernaum. So let's see what Capernaum is first. It's a place, yes. Capernaum is a place. Capernaum meaning village of comfort. So it was a village of comfort, a flourishing city of Galilee. So it was a flourishing city. It was a great and mighty city. It says, and thou Capernaum, which art exalted unto heaven. Let's see what that word exalted means. So it's a village of comfort, a flourishing city, exalted unto heaven. To lift up on high, to exalt, to raise to the very summit of opulence and prosperity, to exalt, to raise to dignity, honor, and happiness. So it was an honorable city. It was great happiness there. It had great prosperity. So Capernaum, a very honorable city, a great city, which art exalted unto heaven, shall be brought down to hell. For if the mighty works which have been done in thee had been done in Sodom, it would have remained until this day. So Capernaum is going to go to hell. They're going to go under the ground and go to hell. No, it's not going to go underground. Then you're going to see a big ass. You're going to see Capernaum in a fiery place where the Satan with a pitchfork going around the city poking everybody. No, Capernaum, it says, which art exalted unto heaven shall be brought down to hell. See what that word hell means in this verse. The grave, death, a very uncomfortable place. So it's going to be brought down to a very uncomfortable place. It's going to be just like in Jonah, it says, out of the belly of hell. It's a condition. It's a very uncomfortable position. It was a very uncomfortable place that Jonah was in. This Capernaum is going to be brought down to the grave, to death, to a very uncomfortable place. Like, so it's going to be like, so hell is like a very bad, it's a bad situation. Like, I'm in hell right now. I'm in hell, I'm in a bad situation, I'm in a bad place. So, it's not a fiery place under the ground. It's a condition. It's a condition you are in. It's a grave. This is Amos. If I can find it. Amos 9 and verse 2. Though they dig into hell, thence shall mine hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. So that's like they gonna dig into hell and they see a fiery place and they come back up. Though they dig into hell, thence shall mine hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. So the key word there is hell. Let's go to Psalms 30 and verse 3. Psalm 33. Oh, Psalm 30 verse 3. Like, O Lord, thou hast brought up my soul from the grave. Thou hast kept me alive, that I should not go down to the pit. That key word right there is grave. So right here it says the grave. Thou hast brought me up. O Lord, thou hast brought up my soul from the grave. Thou hast kept me alive, that I should not go down to the pit. So it says grave right there, and it says pit. Should not go down to the pit. This is Genesis 37 verse 35. And all his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted, and he said, For I will go into the grave until my son mourning. Thus his father wept for him. So this is when Jacob had a son named Joseph, and his 11 other sons had made up a story saying that Joseph had died, and so then but actually they sold him to the Ishmaelites, who eventually gave him to the Egyptians, and then so they came back because his father he had a special love towards Joseph, but he loved his other sons, but his love towards Joseph was special. And so it said, and all his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted, and he said, For I will go into the grave until my son mourning. So he'd go into the grave until his son mourning. So let's see what that word hell means. Hell, grave, hell, pit. So that's when you say hell, it can also mean a grave or a pit. And when you say grave, it can also mean hell. Or pit, when you say pit, it could also mean grave or hell. So hell ain't a place. So hell is also a grave. It's also death. It's not a fiery place. It's a place where it's the grave. It's a condition. So it can be like when you go into hell is going to the grave. It's not a fiery place on the ground. When you're bad, you go to. So it's a condition. It's a very bad situation. I'm trying to think of the word, but I can't think of the word at this very moment. Salakia. But Lord willing, this was edifying. If I come across any other scriptures and another account of what hell is, I will bring that out in another lesson. Lord willing, this was edifying. First of all, I'd like to say, Kahala Yahweh B'Hashem Yasha B'Hashem Harakakidas. Giving all glory and honor to the Almighty Yahweh. Double honors to the elder apostle Greg Millstone, who willing to taught us the truth. Shalom to the sincere brother out there who puts in the truth, edifying the brothers and sisters while studying diligence. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners who came in from the darkness to light. They're being built up again, more knowledge and understanding through the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yasha. And shalom to the sincere Agwaf who may have listened. As I said, if I come across another account, I'll bring that out in another lesson, another account of hell. But until then, Kwam Yasha, stay strong.